Judge ready? Is my opponent ready?
Yes.
As a brief uptime roadmap, I'll first be going over the negation and the affirmative. Alright. So on my opponent's value of governmental legitimacy, she says that we must look to a legit government before we get a quality of life, because without a legit government, they will not be able to provide for a good quality of life for their citizens. However, if quality of life is not valued over governmental legitimacy, then the government will not have a good quality of life either. They're not exempt from this, so they will be unhappy, and if they don't have a good quality of life, their people aren't going to, because they're not going to be encouraged or motivated to give their people a good quality of life. So therefore we have to look to my value over hers. And the same with her value criterion. Her value criterion provides for a legitimate government, but really, if we don't have a good quality of life, then a government cannot be truly legit. On to her first contention, she talks about how how the right to be forgotten is inefficient and this causes it to be difficult to uphold. And if people don't uphold this, then it makes the government illegit. However, while it does not completely erase this, and I said this in my case, it makes this very hard to search for, and really she says it doesn't really forget anything. However, it is very, very hard to search for, and it won't be like so easy to find that anybody, like the kid down the street, can find it. This is going to be something that is kept in a government stronghold or something like that, that is going to be very hard to find. So it's not going to be open to the public. So it's still going to be able to have these positive impacts that I've talked about, like improving the quality of life for people and motivating employees, and I'll get to that more when I move on to the affirmative. On to her second contention, she talks about how this right to be forgotten violates transparency, and without transparency it leads to abusive governments. But like I said, I want to somewhat cross-apply my argument on the value criterion. If we just look to making a legitimate government without having good quality of life, these government leaders and even the citizens aren't going to have a good quality of life. They're not going to be motivated to help others and do the right thing. They're going to be living in slums and not have a happy life. And this is going to have a lot of negative impacts. So really, we can't even look to what will happen without quality of life. Because without quality of life being valued, transparency will be, or a government will be abusive. On to the affirmative. She attacks my value criterion by saying that the government maintains the quality of life, and we must have the government first. However, again, we must look to the quality of life over governmental legitimacy, because without a good quality of life, nobody is going to be happy, and we won't be able to have a legitimate government. Onto my value criterion, she says that she still provides for personal value success system, and you can still delete these things. However, she attacks my case by saying it causes inequality, and only the people who know how to use it will be able to use it. However, the example she gave of being able to file a form to Google is something that not a lot of people know about. I know I didn't before this, so really we cannot look to that argument, because still, even if you can delete this right now and utilize this right now, not a lot of people know about it, so it's still causing inequality. But with the right to be forgotten as a civil right, it gives that to everybody, so we can, so that everybody can have this. On to my first contention, she says, again, we can still delete things, and there's not a 100% success rate. First off, she doesn't have a statistic showing the success rate, and the EU actually has this implemented, and they're doing all right so far. But still, again, the equality, or onto my second contention, she says there's no clear link to hygiene. However, like I said, hygiene is not directly related, so we need to look to the motivation factors, and for these reasons, I urge you to vote in affirmation of the resolution. Thank you.